Hi everyone, welcome to the Essex Sport Facebook page, and my name is Arlene. I'm going to be delivering a slow flow yoga class today, and before we start, just make sure you have enough space surrounding you so your arms and your limbs can move comfortably, and it's probably helpful if you have a yoga mat or something similar, and just make sure your floor isn't slippery, that the mat won't move around too much. And also it's probably nice to take off your shoes to get comfortable. When we do the relaxation parts, if you'd like to, you're welcome to place a little cushion or something nearby, or a blanket if it's a bit chilly. So just to find everything you need, maybe a little bit of water to stay hydrated throughout the session. So when you're ready, we'll start our slow flow yoga class today. If you want to start by laying on your back and just come to a comfortable position. Couple options here as you come to lay back. Just check in if you have any tension in your lower back, or if you just had a busy week, maybe you'd like to bend your knees and place your feet on the floor. You're also welcome to have your legs straight in Shavasana and have your toes out to the side, your heels towards the center, and relax your arms out to the side or on your belly. Good, so just see how you feel. And as we come to settle into this moment, just make yourself as comfortable as possible. So you're welcome to place a pillow under your head or have a blanket on, and just start to feel and sense the temperature of your skin, and just start to notice all the touching points you have with the floor. So notice the back of your head, notice the parts of your shoulders, your arms, your hands, any parts of your feet, your legs, your bottom, and just feel your connection points as supports, so you can start to let go and relax into the mat. And with each inhalation, notice the temperature of the air and where it enters, and the parts of your body that begin to move with your inhalation. And when you exhale, soften and relax into the mat, and just feel your body let go. And you might start to feel your inhalation rise low near your belly. You might feel your rib cage begin to expand with your inhalation, and you can follow your breath up past your heart to your collarbones. And with each exhalation, let go, relax. And you might start to observe how your breath has an impact on your body. It allows it to come to this moment like an anchor for a boat, anchoring us to just feeling the sensations of this moment. So throughout our practice, just connect with your breath. Notice the sensations that arise, and see if you can let go. Let go with each exhalation. Let your breath feel relaxed in your body. So when you're ready, you can just very slowly start to wiggle your fingers and toes, or you might turn your head side to side. Just a gentle expansion into space. And at your own pace, no rush to do this. Just take a nice stretch so you can bring your arms up overhead, lengthen your legs long and away. Inhale, and as you exhale, just slowly bring your right knee to your chest and hold your shin. If that feels a bit uncomfortable on your back, you're welcome to bend your left knee. So just see how that feels. If you want to make it a little bit deeper, you can bring your forehead up towards your knee. So just work in the range that feels comfortable for you. Good. Then release your leg. Inhale again, full body stretch, long arms. Exhaling, left knee to chest. Same options here. Maybe bringing forehead towards your knee. Good. Inhale again, full body stretch. Exhale, bring both knees to your chest, hold your shins, and just stay here. You might stay in stillness. You can start to bring a little movement to this by rocking side to side or drawing circles on the ceiling with your knees. Just create a little massage effect for your back. Good. And then keep your right knee bent and just place your left foot on the floor and just start to make a circle. So you can feel your thigh rotating in the hip socket, and you might feel as if you're drawing a circle on the ceiling with your knees, and do that in either direction. Good. And then when you're ready, we'll swap and do the other side. So just stopping in the center, right foot on the floor, left knee lifts, little circling here, and just see how that feels. Maybe just notice if that feels like any release arises. Good. Now we'll bring both knees to your chest, hold your shins. You can either roll to one side or rock up from here, and we'll come to all fours on hands and knees. Good. So as you set up on all fours, just come to notice a comfortable alignment. So your hands are about the width of your shoulders, your knees about the width of your hips. Good. And just start to imagine that below you on the floor is warm sand, and your hands just start to mold into the ground so you can relax into the earth. Good. And then we'll bring our right arm out to the side, And as you inhale, rotate to the right. You can look up at your fingers and notice your chest open. Then as you exhale, lower your arms, slide your hand between your left wrist and knee, and stay there. As an option, you can start to bend your left elbow. You might rest your head on the mat or a pillow here. If you want to make this a bit deeper, you can reach your fingertips out to the side and start to lift your left arm upwards. Just notice where you'd like to be for that. Just start to relax through the side of your neck and your shoulders. Good. Then we'll bring our hand down slowly and just gently come back up to all fours on hands and knees. And just take a moment to scan and notice the right side of your body and how does that feel? Any differences to the left? And when you're ready, at your own pace, the other side. Inhale, rotating, and just lift as high as feels comfortable. Just find the range that feels nice. You might look up at your fingertips. And then slowly exhale, lower your hands. You can start to slide your fingertips between your right wrist and knee. And just find, again, that range that feels comfortable. Where would you like to rest your head, if at all? And where would you like to place your right arm? Good. And just start to feel the connection points again on the ground so you can relax. Lovely. Then when you're ready, we'll slowly uncurl. Good. Come up to all fours on hands and knees. Good. From here, if you tuck your toes under, bring your bottom to your heels. And with lightness, we'll exhale up to downward facing dog. You can imagine there's a string on your tailbone and just gently starts to lift you up. Good. So just explore your down dog at your own pace. You might start to bring movement to this by bending one knee at a time, bicycling your legs out, and just see how that starts to massage your feet and awaken your calf muscles. You can also turn your head side to side. If this feels a bit intense at any time, come back to child's pose or extended child's pose. You can also start to lift one leg up at a time and just see how that feels for you. Another option in your down dog is to lengthen one leg up, bend your knee towards your navel, and then straighten your leg again before lowering back to down dog. And if you do that, just do that equally on both sides. The same if you prefer child's pose or all four, you might do that by extending one leg out at the range that feels comfortable for you. Good. Just another round of breath here, exploring your downward facing dog today. Just notice how that feels. Connect with the ground through your touching points. Good. So when you're ready, we'll come to a forward folded position. So you can either walk your hands to your feet or you can hop your hands to your feet to see how that feels. And options for forward fold or Uttanasana. You might bend your knees and place your forearms on your thighs. But you can rest your hands anywhere on your legs and just start to feel that wherever you are in the position, that there's a nice folding coming from your hip space, the crease there. You can have your knees bent as much as feels comfortable. But just think about letting go through the ground. Another option, if you feel any tension in your shoulders, is to bend your elbows and hold on to the opposite forearm. Good, so one more breath here. When you're ready, draw your navel inward, little micro bend in your knees. Slowly come up to standing. Just stacking one vertebrae up at a time. Head up last. When you're upright, inhale, arms up. Little upper back bend option. Weight comes to your heels, hips forward. You can start to lengthen your fingers up to the ceiling. You might start to feel your upper body just create space in your chest. And then we'll open our arms out to the side. Lovely. So if you walk towards the front of your mat, we'll practice a little variation of sun salutation. So just stand comfortably, shoulders over your hips. Good. Inhale, arms up. That same upper back bend option here. Weight towards your heels, hips forward. Front body lengthening. Exhale, chin to chest. Return to forward fold. Just stop wherever that's comfortable. And just check in. Where is the weight in your feet? Do you feel any tension in your shoulders? You might turn your head side to side. Good. One more breath here. Good. Then bend your knees deeply. Place your hands on the mat, shoulder width apart. With your exhalation, step your right foot back. Good. As an option, you can bring your knee down and relax the top of your foot and just make that comfortable. So you can bring your knee closer if that's more comfortable. If you'd like to, you're welcome to stay on the ball of your foot. Good. So as you inhale, lift your chest away from your thigh and just come again into the range that feels comfortable. If you want to make that a bit deeper or more dynamic, you can bring your arms overhead. And it can also start to lift upwards, your fingers upwards to an upper back bend. Good. So one more breath here. Gently bring your hands back to the mat. Keep your hands there, shoulder width apart, and start to reach your left arm out to the side. And we'll do a little rotation. So kind of come into that as much as feels comfortable. Good. So just stop it anywhere in the range that feels right. Again, you can do this up on the ball of your foot. Good. And you might look at your fingers here and just notice how that might open the chest space. Gently come back down. Good. And we'll push either to all fours on hands and knees or plank pose. So just see where you're comfortable there. Just notice your wrist under your shoulders, navel's engaged. Good. So knee down option here. Bend your elbows, come down towards the mat. We'll practice Sphinx or Cobra next. For Sphinx, slide your hands forward, forearms on the ground. Inhale, lengthen the top of your head forward, lift your chest. Coming up to Sphinx. Just lift as high as feels comfortable. You might extend your arms up for cobra, but relax your shoulders down away from your ears, and relax through your touching points on your hips, your legs. Good. Gently bring your chest back to mat. Hands slide to the side of your chest up through all fours. Option here. You might come to extended child's pose, where you can tuck your toes and lift a downward facing dog. And just explore downward dog as the same options. You might bring movement to that. You might like holding in stillness and softening your heels towards the mat. Good. And just notice how that feels. Connect through the ground, through your hands. We'll relax them into the earth. And you might start to feel a little bend in your knees there, if that helps to feel your arms near your ears. Last breath here. Good. So knee down option. Good. We'll bring our right foot forward between our hands, stepping to equestrian pose. Good. So we might have our left knee down there. Just see how that feels. And as an option, you might start to lift your chest away from your thigh. Lift as high as feels comfortable. Good. One more breath here. Slowly bring hands back to mat. Step your feet together. Return to forward fold, wherever that's comfortable. And when you're ready, slowly draw your navel inward and fold your spine up to standing, head up last. When you're upright, at your own pace, inhale, arms up, upper back bend option. Lengthen your front body, and with your exhalation, come back to forward fold, chin to chest, sliding down. Just see where that's comfortable. You can make any adjustments. You might start to relax your shoulders, turning your head side to side. Last breath here. Good. Next, with your exhalation, step your left foot back, equestrian pose. So knee down option again, same as on the other side. Hands about the width of your shoulders. Option to lift your chest. Option to bring your arms up, and that might become a little upper back bend as well. So just come into the range that feels comfortable for you. And just notice your right knee lengthening about to the center of your foot, and your knees above your ankles. So make little adjustments. Good. Hands back to mat. Keep your hands there. Knee down option still. Bring your right arm out to the side, and you can just slowly start to rotate. Again, just stop wherever that's comfortable. At maximum, you might bring your arm so it's extending towards the ceiling, and you can gaze up at your fingers. Good. Gently rotate back to center at your own pace. Good. Option again, plank or all fours. Good. Knee down option. Bend your elbows, come down towards the mat. Inhalation, Sphinx or Cobra, hips on the ground, gently lifting your chest upwards. Options to straighten your arms further. You might turn your head side to side if you feel any tension arise. Relax through your shoulders, your touching points. Good. Exhale, chest back to mat. Hands to the side of your chest up through all fours. Option here, extended child's pose for downward facing dog. You can make movements in that. If you're in extended child's pose, just see where your arms are comfortable. You can make little adjustments. You can bring cushions under your head or under your hips. Last breath here. Good. As an option, all fours, and we'll step our left foot forward between our hands for equestrian pose. So you can do the same thing from downward facing dog by looking between your hands and stepping your left foot forward. So knee down option here. Inhale, chest lifts. Good. Lift as high as feels comfortable. You might look up to challenge your balance. Just notice where your left knee's tracking, about to the center of your foot. Good. And then we'll gently bring our hands back to mat. Step your feet together. Return to the forward fold, wherever that's comfortable in this moment. And same options. And just notice where the weight is in your feet. That fold and coming from your hips. And perhaps a sense that your sitting bones are lengthening up towards the ceiling. Good. One more breath here. And when you're ready, we'll gently draw our navel inward and fold the spine up to standing, head up last. Chin to chest. When you're upright, at your own pace, inhale, arms up. Upper back bend option, lengthening your rib cage upwards away from your hips as your fingers reach up. And then exhale, coming out to mountain pose. All right, great. So we're going to come to stand with our legs in a wide straddle position. So you can just orientate to your mat so your feet can be on there if you're using one. Good. So I'm going to call this side right. I'm not sure if sometimes Facebook Live flips the image. So this side I'm going to call right. Okay, so if you turn your right toes out to the right and just check in with how this feels. We'll do a little movement through warrior two. So if you bring your arms up into a T, your palms are facing down. Good. Inhale, and just notice your shoulders over your hips, almost like the top of your head lengthens to the ceiling. And as you exhale, just gently bend your right knee and just check in. So just do that twice more. Inhaling, legs straight, exhale, bending your knees. And just notice where your knee's tracking. So you can make little adjustments. Good. So the next one, stay with your knee bent. Good. And then slowly bend your right elbow, and we'll bring rotate your left arms, so palms to the ceiling, and we'll bring our arm next to our ear, but again, just as much as feels comfortable. But then slowly come back to that warrior two, your arms in your T. And you might feel a sense of reaching, so rotate first through your shoulder to turn your palm up, and almost like your left fingers are reaching up to the ceiling, and then come to float your arm next to your ear, and gently back to warrior two, arms in a T. Good, we'll do that once more. Good, and back to warrior two. Okay, lovely. So now think about your right arm, rotate through your shoulder, so this palm's turned up, but your left hand stays as it is, and just start to reach your fingers up toward the ceiling. So just stop at anywhere in that range, but at maximum you might bring your arm like it's a little side bend, and your left fingertips might brush your back leg. So come back to that warrior two, arms in a T. Inhale and exhale, turning your palm to the ceiling, and slowly coming back to that side bend. Good, so one more round here. Inhaling and exhaling. Just move at your own pace. Good, we'll come back to warrior two. Good, inhale here, then exhale back to bringing our left arm next to our ear for extended side angle pose. See where you'd like to turn your head, back up to warrior two, inhale here. Good, that reverse warrior by turning your right palm to the ceiling and just gently leaning away from your arm extended. Good, lovely. So we'll do one more round of that. Inhale here, exhale, extended side angle pose. See where you'd like to turn your head. Inhale back to warrior two, right palm to ceiling. Exhale, reverse warrior. Good, lovely. Back to our warrior two. Relax your arms. You can turn your toes forward. You're welcome to shake out your arms and legs. But we'll set up for warrior two on the other side. So if you turn your left toes out to the side and your right toes might be forward. Good. Inhale, arms up, and then exhale, bending your left knee. Good. So you might keep your arms in a straight line, or you might relax them down by your side. Good. So we'll do one more round here, bending your right knee, or just checking with, your left knee, checking with where your knee's tracking. This time bring your arms up to your T, stay there, extended side angle. So bending, left elbow hinge forward, rotating through your right palm, arm comes next to your ear. See where you'd like to turn your head, back to warrior two, arms in your T, inhale, exhale. Good. So we'll do one more round, extended side angle pose, warrior two, and extended side angle. Lovely. So back to warrior two, we'll do reverse warrior next, rotate through your shoulder. Good, left palm up, inhale, reaching your fingers up. Just stop it anywhere in that range that feels comfortable. Exhale, back to warrior two. Good, so twice more. So that rotation as your palm turns up to the ceiling. Exhaling back. Good, last one. Lovely. Good, so we'll bring it all together. So inhale here, exhale, extended side angle pose, right arm overhead. Inhale, warrior two, left palm to ceiling. Exhale, reverse warrior. Good, back to inhaling here, warrior two, exhale, extended side angle, right arm up next to your ear. Inhale, warrior two, last one, exhale, reverse warrior. Good, lovely. Then we'll relax our arms, just turn both toes to face forward. You might have the sides of your feet parallel with the sides of the mat. We're going to come to a wide leg forward fold, so you might have your hands on your hips, out to the side in a T, or arms overhead, which is more intense. Just see which one you prefer. Good, so imagine the top of your head lengthens upwards, inhale, and as you exhale, just fold from that hip space where your thigh meets your hips, and stop at any point. You can bring your hands to your legs. They might come to the floor comfortably. You can turn your head side to side. If you do reach your hands comfortably to the floor and you want to come deeper into that, you can bend your elbows to rest your forearms, and maybe the top of your head starts to extend away from your body towards the floor. Good, so just stay there for a few breaths. Notice where that's comfortable. Just make little adjustments. Is there a little micro bend in your knee? Though your legs are straight, just like a smile behind your kneecap. You can turn your head side to side if you feel any tension. Good, one more breath here. Lovely. When you're ready, we'll come up to standing. So you can either push through your feet and have your hands on your hips, out to the side or overhead, little micro bend, coming back up to standing. Good, as you exhale, step your feet together to give everything a little shake. Good, so we're going to practice chair pose or Utkatasana. Next, if you stand with your feet about the width of your hips, and just take a few moments to bend your knees and notice where your knees tracking. So ideally, place your feet so your knees come to the center. Good, and you might imagine that you're holding a little balloon between your knees, so that helps to create that sense of tracking to the center of your foot. Okay, so we'll engage your navel, shoulders over your hips, inhale, exhale, lead with your tailbone, sitting to chair pose. Good, so aiming your knees to the center of your foot. You can have your hands on your hips in front of you, or you might like to have them overhead. Good, but there's that sense that you're creating a diagonal with your tailbone leading, and then there's a long line from your hips up to your fingertips. Good, so one more breath here in our chair pose. Lovely, and as you exhale, slowly straighten your legs and come back up to standing. Good, lovely. So we'll come back to chair pose in a moment, but if you stand in mountain pose with your feet together, heels slightly apart, shoulders over hips, and just observe the ground below you, like your foot is fully in contact, so your weight's not towards your toes or your heels more. Good. And then we're going to practice tree pose next, so you can come into this at your own pace, but think about keeping your hips level and shifting the weight over to your right leg, so it kind of comes to the center of your body. Good, you might place your hands on your hips as an option. Bend your left knee, turns out to the side. Sole of your foot comes to rest inside your ankle with your toes brushing the floor. If you want to, you can lift your foot higher onto your calf muscle or onto your thigh. Just see where it's comfortable for you, but there's no pressure. Good, so hands can stay here. You might, if it's comfortable, bring your hands in front of your heart space. You can come up overhead and just do this at your own pace. And you can relax back to any of the earlier options at any time. So just come into this. Just take a moment to explore your tree pose. You might start to feel a sense of connection with the ground through your standing leg, but there's this growth in your upper body. Good, one more breath here, and when you're ready, we'll slowly start to climb out of our tree, bringing your arms, your legs down, and you're welcome to give everything a little shake. Good, so back to your mountain pose. Just take a moment, scan, and notice right side to left. Any differences? How does it feel? Connection to the ground, your muscles, your chest, your arms. And just come into tree pose on the other side at your own pace. So feel the weight evenly throughout your feet. Hips stay level, left leg, standing leg. Shift the weight there. Right knee bends, turn it out to the side. Where would you like to place the sole of your foot on this side? Where would your hands like to be? And just explore that at your own pace. Come in and out of it when it feels right for you. No pressure. But start to feel that connection with the ground through the entire length of your foot. And you can feel almost growth, like there's energy rising with each breath. And you start to expand upwards. Good. One more breath here. Lovely. And when you're ready, so no rush, at your own pace, we'll slowly come out of our tree again. Good, and once you're out, give everything a little shake. Okay, so back to our chair pose. You stand with your feet hip width apart, so sides of the feet parallel with the sides of the mat. Good, inhale here, exhale to chair, same options with your arms, where would they like to be? Good, so think about now shifting the weight to your right leg. Bend your left knee, turn it out to the side, and then when you're ready, slowly stand up to tree pose again, wherever that's comfortable. Good. Just notice where your arms would like to be, that sense of balance, connection with the floor. Good. And then when you're ready, slowly coming back. Good. Stand again with your feet hip width apart. You're welcome to shake out in between. Inhale, exhale, lead with your tailbone, sit to chair pose. Good. And we'll come to practice tree on our left leg. Shift the weight, right knee bends, turn it out to the side. Slowly start to straighten your leg, almost a sense of lifting the top of your head up to the ceiling. Good. Coming to your tree at your own pace. Good, lovely. Come out at any time. And when you're ready, slowly climb out of your tree. Good. And you can give everything a little shake. Okay, so we're going to come towards kind of a right angle pose. You can stand with your feet about the width of your hips. I'm just turning to the side to show you the right angle pose. So bring your arms up overhead, and then as you exhale, just very slowly start to lean forward. So just stop at any point. I'm at maximum for right angle pose. We're creating a right angle between our upper body and our legs, so your chest will be parallel to the floor. You might engage your navel a little bit here. You can bend your knees if that's more comfortable on your hamstrings. Good, one more breath here. Lovely. And then when you're ready, bend your knees. Keep your upper body as it is, and just slowly sort of hinge down, so you're bringing your fingertips to the floor. And when it feels comfortable, you can start to lengthen your legs, straighten your legs a little bit, so you can feel the back of your legs expanding to that space behind you, and your sitting bones almost lengthen upwards. So if you want to come into this deeper, you can rest the palms of your hands on the floor or bring your forearms behind your calf muscles. If that feels a bit intense, you're welcome to have your forearms resting on your knees with your knees bent. Good, so one more round of breath here. Lovely. And when you're ready, just very slowly bend your knees, and we'll come onto the floor and lay on our back with our knees bent. So as you lay on your back, just set up your feet so they're about the width of your hips, and just see how close you'd like to bring your heels. And just imagine your knees, which create a straight line over the center of your feet, so your knees and your ankles are the same distance apart. And relax your hands either side of your hips. Just notice all your touching points, your feet, your hips, your shoulders, the back of your head, and just come to rest. We'll take a moment to notice the breath. So as you inhale, you can feel your stomach fill, almost rising up to the ceiling, and your lower back might round away from the floor. And when you exhale, notice your navel draw inward, and almost like your tailbone tips upwards as your lower back flattens towards the ground. A little massage for your lower back and your hips. So again, inhale, belly fills, lower back lifts away from the floor. Exhale, navel draws inward, tailbone tips upward, lower back in contact with the ground. So stay with this if that feels nice and creates a little massage effect. Or on an exhalation, if you'd like to, you can tilt your hips up, push your feet, and lift up to bridge. Lift as high as feels comfortable. It can come out at any time. It's quite nice to keep your head neutral in the center here. If you want to come into that deeper, you can tuck your shoulder blades under and either hold onto your ankles or interlace your fingers on the ground below your bottom. Just come into that at your own pace. If you want to make it a bit more dynamic, you're welcome to lift one foot off the floor, and you can stay there, or you might straighten your leg, and as if you're trying to touch the ceiling with the ball of your foot. Stay for a few breaths if you've taken this option, and then you can swap and do the other leg. So just do it the same amount on both legs. Good. So again, come out of your bridge. Listen to your body. Come out at any time. We'll just explore this for a few more breaths. If you're holding your bridge, you can imagine your knees are lengthening over the center of your feet. Good. So last breath here. So at your own pace, there's no rush. We'll slowly start to think about lowering one vertebrae down at a time. We're relaxing or massaging our spine into the mat. Good, so just do that at your own pace. When your back and your hips are fully in contact with the ground, if you just gently bring both knees to your chest and hold your shins, you might stay here, drawing your thighs towards your stomach. You can bring your forehead up towards your knees, or you might start to rock side to side. Another option is to imagine you're drawing circles on the ceiling with your knees, and you can do that in either direction. So it creates a little release or massage for your lower back. Okay, great. So when you're ready, keep your knees bent. Any lower back issues, you might have your knees bent with your feet on the floor, but you're welcome to keep them elevated. Open your arms out to the side in a T, and just feel both shoulders relax and connect with the ground. As you exhale, just gently bring your knees over to the right side, and just stop it anywhere in that range. So you can bring your fist or a pillow underneath your right knee, or maybe your knees come to the floor. Just notice where that's comfortable, but try to anchor your shoulders through your left shoulder or both shoulders connecting to the ground. You can see where it's comfortable to turn your head. If you want to come into that deeper, maybe you straighten your left leg. You can have that hover, toes towards the floor, or hold onto your toes with your right hand. But just notice where your breath starts to flow, and maybe you start to feel the breath along your lower back and your left rib cage, and you might start to feel a bit of release through the outside edge of your left hip. Good, so one more breath here. And then when you're ready, gently bend your knees. We'll slowly roll onto our back again, both knees bent. And just check in, notice how that feels right side to left, and at your own pace when you're ready. Slowly exhale, knees over to the other side. To your left, stop anywhere in the range, support under your knees. Maybe you straighten your right leg, maybe you hold onto your toes with your left hand. And just notice on this side where you'd like your head to be, and where does the breath start to expand? Is it expanding through your lower back? Your right rib cage? Do you feel connection with your right shoulder or both shoulders on the ground? And does that rotation bring a sense of release or space? And where does it create space? Good, so one more breath here. Lovely. And at your own pace, when you're ready, gently bend your knees, slowly roll onto your back again. Good, so two options for the next one. We'll do a reclined Supta Baddha Konasana, or reclined cobbler's pose. So you can either keep your knees bent, feet on the floor, and then butterfly your knees open and bring the bottoms of your feet to touch. Or if that's a bit intense on your lower back or your hips, you can do the same thing with your feet elevated, knees out to the side, bottoms of your feet touching. You might hold here onto your ankles. Good, so both options, just see where you'd like, how close you'd like your heels to be to your body. If you do have your feet on the floor and you want to make that a bit deeper, you can start to imagine that the little toe side of your foot is drawing inwards towards each other, and you can notice how that starts to create more of a connection or release on your inner thighs. So just notice where you'd like to rest your arms if you do have your feet on the ground, and just take a moment to let gravity take over, so you can feel your knees start to relax, your lower back, your hips. Good. And then when you're ready, we'll slowly start to bring our knees towards each other again. Knees to your chest, hold your shins. Good. And we'll just lengthen our legs away from us, your heels lengthen away. So just do that wherever that's comfortable. You can support your legs with both your hands behind your thighs or on your calf muscles, or hold onto your ankles or toes. Just notice where that's comfortable. You can have a bend in your knee, so wherever in the range that feels nice for your body. Good. So one more breath here, and then very slowly bend your knees, and just take any stretch that feels comfortable to relax your body, or maybe you windshield wipe your knees side to side, take a full body stretch. Good, and then when you're ready, just come to relax into the mat at a comfortable position. Notice your touching points on the ground, and just start to connect through all points in your body with the floor. Feel the flow of your breath, your energy rise and fall. And as you exhale, let go, let go. Let go through all your touching points so you can rest and feel the support of the ground below you. And I'll leave you here for a few moments to relax. But you're welcome to send any messages that you have to the Essex Sport page. You can check out our website for other activities and opportunities to interact with Essex Sport, and there's also a YouTube page with some recordings. So I leave you here today. Thank you for practicing yoga and honor yourself with your practice, and I hope you have a wonderful